BBC Radio Merseyside.
Next, though, on Drive, wanted to share this story with you. It is 22 minutes to 6 o'clock. It's every parent's worst nightmare, finding out that your child has cancer. Mark Walkerford's son, James, was diagnosed back in 2018, aged only 4, and was treated at Liverpool's Alderhay Children's Hospital. 3 years ago, he was due. 3 years on, that was the past. Let's move on to the immediate. 3 years on, he is due to ring the bell next month. What a great update. A celebration that his cancer is gone. And his dad is gearing up to run 7 marathons in 7 days around Runcorn. It's all to raise money for Alderhay. And Mark Walkerford is with us now on Drive. Mark, I am shattered just actually saying that phrase, 7 marathons in 7 days. Lovely to have you on the show. It is wonderful news that James is recovered. Can you take us back to the time when you found out that James had cancer?
Sure. I mean, as you just said, it's your worst nightmare. For a few weeks, he was just getting ill all the time. He fell asleep at school. He was at nursery at the time. And we kept going to see the doctors, and we just kept getting sent home saying he had a virus, he had a cold, just give him Calpol. And as a parent, I think you just know that something's not quite right. And it just got to the point where we thought, right, we're not, we don't want to be told this anymore. We went to hospital and a few times and said, look, can you just check his blood, check something to see what's wrong with him. And Warrington Hospital checked his blood, and they obviously saw something there and said, you need to go to Alderhay. They did the same thing, checked the blood, and they said, yeah, this isn't looking good. It's looking like it could be leukemia. So very, a very long period of worry, and obviously culminating in devastating news at Alderhay. It was a really, really tough time.
And it's difficult to put you on the spot, but to kind of try, if possible, because it must be really difficult to convey what you were going through as a parent, the shock, the fear, the not knowing. Can you maybe describe some of the feelings that was in your head and in your heart?
Wow, yeah. So feelings, I mean, we cried a lot. That obviously we were told that he might not survive, although we were also told that it is the best type of cancer that a child his age can receive. But you've got all these things going on in your head. You're being told you've got to go to hospital all the time. How are you going to manage all of this with your jobs and everything else? And it's very, very overwhelming. But Alderhay were great. They helped us through it. The charity side of things, their play centre. It was all great. It made the process so much easier
to get through it. And you've mentioned Alderhay with the treatment plan. How did that go?
It's gone as planned. He's ringing the bell. It's been a hard road to get to this stage, though. Initially, he went through a really intense period of chemotherapy. He lost all his hair. His face puffed out. He was in and out of hospital with temperatures. So your whole life is really put on hold to deal with all these, illnesses that he keeps getting and needs treatment for. That he finished his intense period though, and it's kind of been, a lot easier since then. He still had to go into Alderhay fairly often for regular blood checks, and if he gets a temperature, we still have to go in. So it's got easier. We've got used to it. It's become, part of our normal life now.
And Mark, what I need to say, James just sounds an amazing little boy. Dozens of operations on top of the chemotherapy. How has he coped?
So initially, he just accepted that was the way things were. It's really only ever become a thing for him the last sort of 6 months to a year, where he's become really aware of what's going on. He's asking why he goes to Alderhay all the time. Why is he different to other children? don't get me wrong, he loves Alderhay. He sees it as his second home. He often says, "Oh, Daddy, can you check my temperature? I think I need to go to Alderhay," just because he loves going there. So for him, initially, he obviously knew he wasn't well, but he wasn't really aware of why or what was going
bigger
on.
picture. So listen, let's get on to you, Mark, because you are undertaking this marathon challenge. You're going to start on the 23rd of May. Tell us what you're doing and why.
Yeah, sure. So I've been raising money for Alderhay since we found out. They've saved his life, and you can't really put a price on your son's life. But I've tried to do what I can to bring some money in for them. With each challenge, I've felt like it hasn't been enough, and we've not raised enough. So I've always made sure that the next one was bigger. And this is the end, hopefully, now for him. So this one I felt had to be as big as it gets. And this seemed like a suitably silly thing to attempt. So 7 marathons in 7 days, starting Sunday, all the way through next week. And I'd like to say I'm looking forward to it. But
so you sound rather jolly. Sure. Can I recap? So you've done one yesterday.
No, I haven't done a marathon
starting
yesterday.
next week?
No.
Right, okay, let's get that sorted.
Yeah,
fabulous.
This coming Sunday, this weekend coming.
Fabulous. And have you been in training?
Yes, I have. The event was actually scheduled in for March, so I did a lot of my training just after Christmas. Then Boris kind of announced a really delayed move out of lockdown at the beginning of March, I think it was. So we delayed it to just as the restrictions were eased. So we put it in for this week. So the training started really well. Then with the delay, I kind of had a bit of a rest and have tried to get back into it. But I feel like I'm in a good place to
begin
get
again.
them completed.
And you're being supported by your best friend who's going to be running with you as your running mate. And you're also inviting people to come and run with you, for part of the journey. That's a nice invitation. I might just have to check my diary. Oh, sadly, I'm not around.
Come along. Oh, no. Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to have to run it quite slow, obviously, to be able to run on consecutive days. So we're thinking it's going to be a good 5-hour haul per day. And as much as I love my mate Kev, spending 5 hours just with him each day, is going to be quite difficult. So we're inviting others to come along. We're not expecting anyone to run a marathon at all with us, but if you can run a few miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, whatever, then absolutely come and
just to support you as well. And this is around the Runcorn area, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Starting in Norton, we'll work our way around the canal, round Runcorn and back up.
And Mark, how much are you hoping to raise?
Well, I think we're on about 13,000 so far over the past 3 years. If we can double that, I'll be really, really, really happy.
Fabulous. And give us the heads up then for people that can we follow you on social media and get updates on the journey?
There's a website, 7in7foralderhay.org. On that site, you'll find out a bit more about James and what we've done before. There's links there to the Just Giving page where we're taking donations. There's also links to Facebook, Instagram and Twitter where you can follow us and get updates. We'll have a few people taking video and maybe a few live broadcasts of us out and about. So get on social media and follow us. And
is James listening now?
He's not. I did try to say, can you come in and speak on radio, but he's I think he's getting a bit overwhelmed with the fact that
let's do it the other way round then. Dad, tell your son why you're doing the 7 marathons in 7 days.
I've been telling him every day because he keeps asking me why I'm running so much, and we're trying to get him to do this video as well. But James, I'm running 7 marathons in 7 days to raise money for Alderhay to thank them for saving your life.
Wonderful. That is job done. Now, if you want to follow Mark or indeed join him, the event has been given a dedicated website where visitors can access the social media accounts. And to follow the challenge, the easiest way to get those details is 7in7, and that is the number 7in7 for alderhay.org. That is the link, and the Just Giving page for any one of you guys right now who you want to maybe give as much as you can. It is www.justgiving.com/fundraising/James's journey. James' journey, should I say. What an absolute pro that you are. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Mark.
Thanks, Helen.
Hope you've got decent trainers.
Yeah, I've had to invest in those.
Wonderful. And listen, when you get to the end of the week, give us an update and we'll update and tell our fellow Drive listener how you've got on as well.
I will do. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, honey. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Helen Jones.
Helen Jones.
BBC Radio Merseyside.